Chris, a highly intelligent boy, feels overwhelmed after acing a difficult test. Despite his potential, he hesitates about attending college, unsure if he's ready for the future. His sister Michelle encourages him, and they bond over their favorite cartoon, Cosmo Command, while discussing the idea of staying connected through quantum particles. Robots, once created to serve humanity, begin demanding independence. Ethan Skate, founder of Center Technologies, introduces the Neurocaster, a device linking human minds to robotic bodies. The government wages war on the robots, but after 2 years of conflict, humanity faces defeat. With the Neurocaster, humans quickly overpower the robots, ending the war. Over 6,000 defeated robots are imprisoned in the Exclusion Zone, X, a desert facility in the southwest. The Neurocaster is then released as a consumer product, allowing people to work through robots while vacationing in virtual worlds. Marketed as the ultimate freedom. Michelle becomes a foster child under the strict care of Ted. At school, Michelle rejects the Neurocaster, preferring reality over virtual life, which isolates her from her classmates. When sent to the principal's office, it's revealed her family died in a car accident involving a deer before the robot uprising. The principal suggests neurotherapy to help her cope, but Michelle resists. One night, Michelle spots a damaged robot outside Ted's house. It repeats cryptic phrases about teaming up and defeating the rock monster. Ted orders Michelle to make it leave, fearing the state's strict anti-robot laws. When Ted threatens to call the police, the robot attacks him, knocking him down. Michelle recognizes the robot's hand gesture as one her presumed dead brother Christopher used. The robot speaks about Cosmo Command and insists they're in danger. Realizing the robot may hold answers about her past, Michelle decides to uncover the truth behind its origin and its connection to her family. She leaves. The robot tells Michelle that Center is behind the chaos and cryptically mentions a doctor with glasses who knows how to help. Michelle learns her brother Christopher might still be alive. Determined to uncover the truth, she traces Center's activity to a mysterious P.O. box in Clayton, New Mexico, linked to the Exclusion Zone, X. Convinced the answers lie there, Michelle sets out on a dangerous journey. In the X, illegal trade thrives. Keats, a shady weapons dealer, shows off a rare 1873 Colt Peacemaker to a client. When the buyer threatens him, Keats's robot partner Herm steps in and touches the client. Michelle crosses paths with Keats while he's conducting a shady deal. As things escalate, Michelle and the robot sneak into Keats's truck. Keats and Herm arrive at their hidden bunker packed with stolen goods. Keats complains about Herm's reckless driving, while Herm reminds him they wouldn't have survived without his calculations. They bicker over their latest haul, vintage Cabbage Patch Kids and Zagnets, before being interrupted by a noise outside. Michelle reveals she followed their truck and insists they need to reach the X to uncover the truth about her brother. Keats warns of the dangers, but when Michelle reveals her foster dad bought illegal tech from Keats, they realize she may have been followed. To stay under the radar, they introduce Michelle as Keats's kid sister, Veronica, and tell the robots to hide. The Robot Deactivation Task Force, RDTF, arrives, accusing Michelle of assault, grand theft auto, and aiding an enemy of the state. They demand the Cosmo bot's location, but Keats plays dumb. As the agents threaten Michelle, she jumps into a bulldozer and rams the agent, saving Keats, Herm, and the Cosmo bot. The impact causes the bunker to collapse, sealing the exit. Now trapped inside the Exclusion Zone, the group realizes there's no turning back. Trapped in the Exclusion Zone, X, Michelle insists they find the doctor, believing he holds the key to escape. Keats is doubtful but agrees since they have no other choice. Keats and Herm reveal they can cross the desert. Herm has enough power to pilot a larger robot, and Keats can ride on his shoulder. Michelle suggests Herm carry a van where they and the Cosmo bot can ride for protection from the harsh desert. At Center headquarters, the director panics after discovering Christopher, the key to their data system, has escaped. A flaw in the data matrix allowed Christopher's consciousness to bypass their firewalls, a breach engineered by Amherst, a rogue Center scientist. If the Neurocaster network continues to lose data, Center's system will collapse within days. The Center director recruits the Butcher of Schenectady, a retired RDTF agent, to retrieve the Cosmo bot. Since Center can't enter the X without evidence of a treaty violation, the Butcher is tasked with securing the bot or providing evidence to justify an incursion. Michelle, Keats, Herm, and the Cosmo bot reach Tabletop Mountain and spot a well-preserved mall, possibly the Doctor's hideout. A massive scavenger robot attacks, hurling a refrigerator at them. Herm tries to evade, but they crash and are captured. They're confronted by Perplexo, a robot who introduces them to the leader of the scavenger robots, Mr. Peanut, a weathered robot with a bolted-on hat. Mr. Peanut explains they attacked because they mistook the group for hostile raiders known as scavs. Michelle demands to know about the Doctor. Mr. Peanut confirms he's real but warns that the scavs control the route to him. Michelle insists on finding him despite the danger. Mr. Peanut leads them to Blue Sky Acres, a robot settlement where machines have adapted to new roles. Mr. Peanut warns that if Center finds humans hiding there, it could justify wiping out the settlement. He agrees to escort them 10 miles into the desert after dinner. Michelle refused to leave, so they stayed at the Blue Acres Mall. At night she remembered her interactions with her brother. Cosmo Bot comforted her. While they were sleeping, Penny, a mail delivery robot, wakes them and she gave them a letter addressed for Chris left by the Doctor with glasses. Since Cosmo is claiming to Chris, she delivers the letter to him and revealed she knows where the Doctor is staying, but it was on Scavenger's land. Mr. Peanut came and agreed to finally help them, but tells them they need help crossing the Scav territory. He introduced them to Popfly, a baseball bot veteran in dealing with scavs, and he decided to train them with strategy to survive. By morning they left to venture to find the Doctor. They arrived that night but was immediately greeted with hostility from the scavs. They fought but was immediately surrounded and pushed back. They tried to seek shelter to a nearby building, but the door won't open. They are losing hope, but suddenly the skull ornaments began spewing flames. The floor opened up and they all fell down. They are greeted by the Doctor, Clark Amherst. Michelle confronted him, but he revealed that he's the one who saved Chris' consciousness by allowing it to escape into the network and find a robot body. But the boy's real body is still trapped in Center, where they kept it alive to use his brain to power their network machine. She demanded to save her brother. But their conversation was cut short when the Butcher showed up outside their door. It managed to break in and Mr. Peanut fought it, giving the rest of them time to escape. But backup had arrived. Since Skate has proof that the robot broke the treaty, he now has authority to arrest them all. They all fought back. Mr. Peanut got destroyed. Michelle got cornered, so Dr. Clark tried to save her. He tried to reason against the Butcher. The Butcher refused to attack him since he's human. But Skate suddenly show up and shoot the Doctor. Butcher began to question his loyalty. The Doctor is now dead. The team had returned to find Blue Acre was also destroyed. Cosmo Bot got captured and was brought to the Center, where Skate revealed to him that he was the most important piece to keep his network machine working. Butcher learnt that he was hunting a human boy and a robot body all along. He tried to complain, but Skate doesn't care. They proceed to put Chris' consciousness back to his body. Back in the desert, Michelle is telling everyone she won't stop and continue to save her brother. Keats agreed to help her out but told her the Doctor is gone. She remembered that the Doctor said he put all his memories into PC, a robot serving as his hard drive. PC knows where they can find Chris and all the necessary keycodes to access the Center base. Then Michelle convinces Mr. Peanut to help her. He hesitated at first, being a pacifist, but when the rest of the robots voiced their desire to fight, he agreed to start another rebellion uprising against Center. They hotwired the several trucks and rushed toward the Center. Herm piloted a much bigger robot body and began throwing cars at Center Tower. They successfully garnered their attention and Skate sent all his guards to attack the intruder, giving Michelle and PC a chance to infiltrate the tower. Herm and Keats caused a diversion and the rest of the robots fought back against the swarm human-piloted anti-robot guards. Butcher watches from a distance and decided to leave his post to join the fight. Michelle and PC took the opportunity to scare away the Doctor's performing experiment on Chris by PC pretending to be Killer Robot. PC explained to Michelle the only way to reach her brother now is to enter the network herself, so she wore the Neurocaster. Meanwhile, Butcher met with Peanuts, but instead of shooting him, he told him he will now join their cause after realizing he's protecting someone less human than the robots. Inside the network, the siblings finally reunited. Michelle told her brother Chris that they can finally beat Center and be together again. But Chris told her that his body is only kept alive by the Center's machine, and he'll die without it. But he also don't want to continue living if it meant the world will continue to suffer because of him. Meanwhile, Keats got knocked down. He was about to be killed. Herm sacrificed himself to save Keats. Peanuts managed to corner Skate with the help from Butcher. Back inside Chris' head, he was begging his sister to pull the plug. He's willing to sacrifice to stop Skate and save everyone. Michelle tried to argue, but eventually Chris managed to convince her and they said their goodbyes. Michelle turned off the machine as she watched her brother's body die. The Center network went offline and the anti-robots began dropping like flies. The rebels won, but Keats cannot rejoice cause he just lost his best friend Herm. He poured his heart out saying goodbye. But Herm surprises him and reveals he actually has a smaller 8-inch body inside. The war is officially over. Centers all over the world went offline too. The people are in panic after not being able to connect online. And news began to spread about the illegal human experiment of Skate and he was arrested. Eventually, Michelle filmed a video explaining to the world what has really happened. The movie ends with the Cosmo bot waking up from the rubbles.